Hi everybody, my name is Linda Crisman. I'm a lot of things. I am a sandwich mom. Had a lot of kids, been to a lot of ball games, had to hurry, make things on the fly so we could get there quickly and not starve to death while we were there. Wife, mother, nurse, and recently I have also published my first couple of children's books. Though writing and illustrating hasn't been something new for me, I've done it for my own kids for a whole lot of years. Finally went ahead and had it published recently. And see, here I am a mess. Last 10 years of our family life, I also became caregiver for my own mother, which brings me to the illustration of this wonderful sandwich that you may think is weird, but it's my taste. I became part of the sandwich generation. And until I was in the midst of it, I didn't even know what the sandwich generation was. But it became evident as I became more and more sandwiched between taking care of children that I still had at home to raise and grandchildren that would come and hang out with us sometimes, and then became the caregiver to my own mother. So as those days and years went on, I began thinking about what I would like to do to help others going through these same struggles that I went through. And it wasn't all struggles, much of it was joy and gratitude to be able to give back to someone who gave so abundantly to me. So I would like to be able to share with all of you some of my experiences, experiences my children have had, my husband, my family, and through interviews with others, share what it's been like to be part of this weird sandwich generation. You know, once upon a time, there were generations, multi-generations in every household. It wasn't something strange. You didn't think about growing old and going to the nursing home. It was, well, I don't know who all is out there that remembers the series The Waltons on TV, but it was a whole lot like that. Grandpa and Grandma were up front and center in the family's life, Mom, Pa, and all the kids. So rather than sticking Grandpa and Grandma off in the nursing home, which sometimes is necessary. So no shade to anybody who has been faced with that very tough decision either. But I wear so many hats. I'm a nurse. I got my nursing degree later in life. That same year, married off one of our daughters, had a son in college, a son graduating high school, and gave birth to our third daughter, seventh child. She is now 17 and still at home in her junior year of high school. Up until just this past December, my mother was part of our household on a daily basis. And she died just after the holiday season. She was able to spend a very beautiful November, Thanksgiving with family, so all of her children, my siblings, myself, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and that played on into Christmas as well. And 3 days after Christmas, she exited this world. It comes in waves. That caught me by surprise. When I was a little girl, at one point in time, after a busy day, it was after bath time, my mom was curling my hair, which she did before every single holiday, tight little pin curls. I said to her, "Mommy, when I grow up and I get big and you get small, I'll take care of you." And I did. She laughed at me at the time and said, "Oh, honey, that's not the way it works." But the joke was on us. It did work out that way, or maybe the blessing. Anyway, I am still dealing with loss and grief, and wow, I just really didn't expect it to flood like that. But at one point during my caregiving with my mom, I was also dealing with grandchildren coming into our lives. I have 6 grandkids from 3 of our children. Our oldest granddaughter, as our hilarious life would have it, is just 2 years younger than her Aunt Olivia, our youngest child. One summer, all 6 grandkids were at our house in our big backyard, and oh, I had such a great day with them. And Olivia and our next in line youngest son, Zach. We had water balloon fights and lemonade and picnics under the shade and played with all the dogs we had in the backyard. And after it was all over and I was waving goodbye, I sat there on our big wraparound front porch, just thoroughly exhausted. But I was smiling, and I didn't realize I was until the youngest grandchild comes out the front door. She lived nearby and asked me, "What are you smiling about, Grandma?" And it made me think for a moment. And suddenly I grabbed the notebook that I always keep near me and a pen and started writing a story. And that's the day I came up with One Smiling Grandma, which is the second book I've had published. It is a rhyming counting book that counts from one smiling grandma sitting all alone on the big front porch, and it counts up to 5 and then back down to the grandma sitting all alone, wiping sticky fingerprints off 2 magic thrones. And it was one of those stories that just tumbled out of me. The first book that I published, likewise, There's a Hedgehog in My Hair. It's a tale from the years that my own grandma would comb tangles out of my hair, and I'd cry and I'd squirm, and she would distract me by saying, "Oh, look at that alligator, he's biting you." And before long, she'd have me laughing, distracted and giggling. And so one day, after combing rats out of my daughter's hair and my granddaughter's hair, I sat down and started coming up with the idea for There's a Hedgehog in My Hair. So that's just a part of who I am. Thoughts and ideas and life just happen. And life with my mother was wonderful and fairy tale like. As when I was a child, she had a voice like Julie Andrews, pitch perfect, and she was truly practically perfect in every way, and I aspired to be like her so much. And when she came to live with us, she brought a lot of joy into our life, and the kids were excited that she was with us. Our older boys who lived nearby, the children still in our home, the grandkids who stopped by. It was just a busy life, but I realized what it is to be then part of the sandwich generation. It's tough. I had things I wanted to do in my own career. I had things I wanted to do for the children I was still trying to raise. And I didn't want my mother to feel in any way whatsoever like a burden, because burdens in life are the best part of life. Your kids changing your life around for your spouse, for your parents. They did that all for you when you were little. So for me, so I came up with this thought that I wanted to help others navigating this role. And I hope to share some fun stories, maybe a few less tears than I was on the verge of a moment ago, and have some laughter and some guests who will also share their trials and triumphs of being part of the sandwich generation, and also provide to you resources for when times get really tough. There are so many resources out there, but I wasn't aware of all of them till I really don't need them any longer. Not for the same reason, but I'm finding maybe, I won't discount any of those resources. At some point in time, I may need them again. I want to be able to provide help for you that maybe I didn't have. I hope by the end of each of my episodes, you will have found something that you can relate to, something that resonates with some season of your life, whether it is caring for an elder parent who's had a stroke, an illness, or sometimes it's just financial needs that bring families, generations together under one roof. And I hope I will be able to provide resources so that when you get to that point where you just don't know where to turn, that's where you can turn. There will be phone numbers, websites, and avenues to reach out to places in your local communities. Well, that's just a brief introduction of what I hope to bring to all of you, to share with all of you, and hopefully you'll get a little good out of it. Well, I hope this gives you a little preview of what's to come, how maybe some things might resonate with you. Hopefully some of it will be helpful. And for any of you that are experiencing this sandwich generation, take a bite. It's a journey.